Thank you for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak. I'm Akanksha Swaroop. Arrests, protests and a new anti-rape bill. It's been 1 month since the trainee doctor from Kolkata's RG Medical College and Hospital was brutally raped and murdered, but justice evades Abhaya. A day before the Supreme Court hearing in the case, Bengal was on the streets again, demanding justice for Abhaya. The doctor's parents, who also attended the demonstration on Sunday, asked people to support them in their fight for the truth. And on Monday, the Supreme Court has expressed serious concern. This over the absence of a document relating to the transfer of body of the lady doctor for post-mortem. It has asked the CBI to find out the reason for this. Moreover, the CBI's medical report presented by Solicitor General Tushar Mehta has classified the death as homicidal and confirmed evidence of sexual assault. The Supreme Court has ordered the immediate removal of the victim's photographs from social media. The Apex Court has also questioned the delay in filing the FIR. And it has pulled up the West Bengal government on the steps taken by the administration to ensure the safety of doctors and paramedics. Meanwhile, the BJP has demanded that Mamata Banerjee should step down as the Chief Minister. Kolkata Police Commissioner should be removed. And the call records of Mamata Banerjee, the Kolkata Police Commissioner and the former principal of RG Medical College, Sandeep Ghosh, should be made public. Why is justice eluding Abhaya? We'll be digging deeper into that in just a bit. But it's September 9th, exactly a month ago, the 31-year-old junior doctor was brutally raped and murdered in Kolkata's RG Medical College and Hospital. And for this 1 month, the people of Bengal have risen up against the state administration for inaction. Why has the state been under constant scrutiny ever since the horrific incident happened? Let's also find out. From opposition to activists and protesting doctors, all have called for Chief Minister's resignation. This over a shoddy response and probe. Last week itself, parents made a big allegation of bribe being offered by the Kolkata police for hurried cremation, and it also put the state government once again in the dock. There are voices within the party questioning the ruling government itself. TMC MP Jawahar Sircar has also been claiming of a lack of proper action by the state. He is in fact one of the latest ones to voice their dissent within the party. He is standing with the protesters in solidarity. In every hearing, the state government has had to come under the Supreme Court, which has been wrapping them for the delay in filing of the FIR and how it has failed to comprehend a mob of 7,000 was set to in fact even vandalize the hospital premises on the eve of independence when Bengal was witnessing Reclaim the Night protests. These questions remain unanswered. The state has also come under the top court's ire on its constant shield towards Sandeep Ghosh, the former principal of the RG Medical College and Hospital. Only recently did the state suspend him after the Supreme Court rap. The memory of him being rehabilitated moments after his resignation was a clear indication of the clout he continues to enjoy. What the CBI told the Supreme Court is also something that we have delved in. CNN News 18 has also accessed sensational details, and these are all those details as the CBI has sourced. The sources have told us that they are probing new leads that have emerged in the entire case. The CBI sources have also said that they are looking at leads in destruction of evidence charge. The scanner is again back on former Principal Sandeep Ghosh and the hospital administration. The CBI is probing if Sandeep Ghosh misled the sequence of the entire events. Why is the CBI even making an allegation that Ghosh is trying to mislead? Let's also bring out all those points for you. Ghosh's driver first told investigators that he received a call at 6 a.m. on 9th of August to reach the former principal's home immediately. Meanwhile, Sandeep Ghosh, on the contrary, has been constantly saying that he did not even know about the entire incident till 10:20 a.m. on 9th of August. His driver knew this at 6 a.m., but he did not till 10:20 a.m. That's a big question. Isn't that a blatant lie itself? And so, on the Kolkata doctor death, since it's already a month on the RG horror, justice still eludes Abhaya. And why does it do so? That's a big question we are probing in just a bit.
ক্ষমতাটাকে গ্রাস করবার জন্য পুলিশের হাত থেকে সবটাই কেড়ে নিতে চান রাজ্য সরকারকে, কেন্দ্রীয় সরকারের এর মধ্যে পুরো চক্রান্ত আছে এবং আরও কয়েকটা লেফট পার্টি দে আর অলসো ইনভলভ ইন দিস কনস্পিরেসি।
The polygraph test of the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee as well as the arrest of Mamata Banerjee could be imperative.
Right, and with that, let me introduce our esteemed panelists today. I'm joined in by Mr. Gopal Agarwal, who's the national spokesperson for the Bharatiya Janata Party, Sabnam, who's a political analyst also backing the Trinamool Congress, Mr. A.P. Singh, who's a former CBI director, and Dr. Swati Maheshwari, who's an internal medicine specialist of health and wellness expert as well. In fact, I'm going to quickly ask Mr. Singh to set the tone for this debate. Mr. Singh, my question, the fact that that challan, which is to accompany the body in which you are supposed to also mention the articles that go along with the body for post-mortem. Today, it was highlighted by the Chief Justice himself that that document, which something looks like this, I don't know how clear is that, but it has close to over 8 to 9 columns. And one of the columns specifically talks about all those articles that are accompanying the body for post-mortem. That particular column was needed today when they wanted to see if the clothes of the victim were sent for post-mortem or not. That entire challan, as a CJI himself highlighted, was missing. Is this not a blunder?
Yeah, I mean, if that is the case, definitely it's a blunder. It's very important because all the items that have been seized from the accused, from the deceased, has to be taken into custody and sent for forensics. But I also saw in that in the proceedings of the Supreme Court, I saw a bit of it, and they said that there was a judicial magistrate present when the post-mortem was being done. So I presume that and it was being videographed. So I presume that everything was in order, and if it wasn't, then the CBI will definitely point all this out in its investigation. Now, as I've been repeatedly saying, that the problem with CBI is that it never comes in as the first responder. It is always these sort of cases, murder, rape, etc., always handed over to CBI after a period of time. In this case, it's 5 days. In some, it's a week.
Mr. Singh, please
it could even be a month or 6 months.
My interjection right now. But do you not think that the forensic team could not have arrived till an FIR was lodged? And that in itself has been highlighted and argued at the Supreme Court today, that the forensic team could not have come and arrived because the FIR and the lodging of the FIR took so much time. We all know that the FIR was lodged at night.
No, I don't think no. Number one, yes, I agree that FIR should have been lodged immediately. I don't know what the system in Calcutta police is, but as having investigated cases in my younger days as an SP, I know that if it's a case of murder, you register an FIR immediately.
Yes,
and in this
Mr.
case,
Singh,
there was no doubt because she was strangled, there was blood.
As per the new changes made in the BNSS, a forensic team cannot arrive till the FIR is lodged. Henceforth, if the FIR lodged is late and there's a delay in filing of that FIR, then the forensic team also inadvertently gets delayed.
No, I don't think so. I think that, I mean, the normal procedure would be to call the forensics immediately. You lodge an FIR, yes, that should be the correct procedure, but it doesn't mean that you don't get the forensics because you are doing paperwork. You should be immediately getting the forensic team as early as possible.
I'm just enlisting what the advocate Feroz Edulji had to argue, and I'll quote him verbatim in front of you.
Fine.
The seizure was affected from the crime scene before the FIR was registered at 11:30 p.m. This is not legally sustainable. The forensic team can visit the place only after registration of the FIR.
We are not talking about lawyers. I'm giving you the practical how it actually works.
Right.
Lawyers will keep raising all sorts of questions.
But that's why they have raised it.
I'm just telling you that you would immediately call a forensic team. You would register a case and immediately call a forensic team.
All
That
right.
would be the practical approach to an investigation.
All right, let me now bring in Dr. Gopal Agarwal. Mr. Gopal Agarwal, I just want to ask you, when you're looking at this entire challan not being part of the file that was handed to the CBI during investigation, is this also now bringing in questions of the role that Kolkata police has played so far? Because it seems that the CBI has of course not been handed over the entire challan when the report was being handed over to them for after postmortem.
Akanksha ji, we have to understand that this whole serious crime that has taken place at RG Kar Hospital in Kolkata, the crime has taken place. It's one part of the thing. The other important part is the way the West Bengal government, particularly Mamata Banerjee and her team, is trying to evade the real facts of the and trying to evade the punishment that should go, the investigation that should come, the document that they have to be submitted, and the protection they were giving to the principal of the college, Sandeep Ghosh. There is ample evidence. I don't think now there is any further evidence is required that Mamata government was trying to protect Sandeep Ghosh. He gave his statements at point has been contradictory. You just now mentioned that he said that till 10:30 I did not know anything about the crime. He is the principal. I read the whole proceeding in the court today. The CJI asked how far is the doctor's residence, principal's residence from the hospital. They said 15-20 minutes. So till 10:30 he could not know about anything, the what management he is doing. So there is a clear-cut connivance of Sandeep Ghosh, the protection that the police tried to give, the evidence they tried to evade, the evidence they did not try to
Let
make,
me quickly
FIR.
now also.
There is that's why we are asking for Mamata Banerjee to take responsibility and resign. Crime itself is a heinous crime, and I also want to just underline that because of the protest and the outcry over the country, now at least Mamata Banerjee is coming to respond. Otherwise, still she is trying to say that it's a conspiracy of the opposition. What conspiracy when it is under your law and order that you are committed, your people have committed crime. They are, police is showing complete laxity. Why they are saying laxity? She has to answer. Why did not they?
Let me also bring in Dr. Maheshwari on that note. Important to also listen in from what the medics have to say. What is your view on the report that was submitted by the CBI, Dr. Maheshwari? The CBI has maintained that yes, this has been a case of homicide and there has been a sexual assault. That too has been confirmed. The fact that, you know, the evidence was also tampered is something that was raised in the court today. I'd like your thoughts on the CBI report before I quickly bring in Sabnam Day now.
No, absolutely. See, what we feel now is that this is a glaring example of travesty of women's situation in Kolkata or West Bengal for that matter right now. And it, kind of underscores the systemic problems deeper systemic problems that are there, institutional failures that are there, and also a fiscal approach towards, enforcement of the existing laws, and not just limited to this. They are trying to temper the evidence, the way they have behaved for the 5 days till the time it was handed over to CBI. It clearly shows they are trying to create an environment of impunity, which kind of emboldens these perpetrators, that they can go scot-free even after such heinous crimes. Nothing is going to happen to them. And look how they have been, protecting the principal. They have been protecting their police force, who have been doing all wrong things. If you look at today's Supreme Court hearings, they clearly are mentioning all those statutory requirements which were there before you do a postmortem, before, you go for a burial of such cases and everything. All has been flawed completely. None of the things, none of the pieces are falling in places which show that yes, there was a genuine intention to bring the culprit to book, or there was a genuine intention to bring justice to the girl who so much. So all that definitely falls onto the West Bengal government.
I think what Dr. Maheshwari, the key word that you have in fact used right now as you speak is intention. it is that very intention that is now being questioned, and that's why, Sabnam, every day or every time you and I have spoken and debated, we've day in, day out highlighted new reasons which have been shared during the investigation in terms of that only go on to indicate how there has been laxity, there's been tampering of the evidence, and which is why I began this discussion with the missing document that was the challan. What does that go on to indicate? Please don't say that it's just missing and it will be filed tomorrow, because we are not dealing with an ordinary case over here.
Akanksha, good evening. Giving me an opportunity to reiterate all the statements made by Dr. S. Maheshwari and BJP spokesman that CM has introduced a landmark bill, Aparajita bill for women and children, 2024, which is the historical bill introduced by our CM
We are
in
talking
the
about
history
the crime.
in the history of
You know,
in the history
why has
in Indian history.
why anybody supporting the TMC or from the TMC
CM
mastered the art of digressing from the question? I want your
you reply?
response. Do you please agree or not that the missing document today indicates that the Kolkata police has not done its duty when it was supposed to transfer all the required documents while transferring the case to the CBI?
And we
Kolkata
also don't
police
know whether
already-
they
Do you admit?
document.
No, Sabnam,
Kolkata police already, let me answer, Akanksha. Kolkata, give me some time. All panelists got the time.
but you began on Abhaya,
Kolkata
the entire
police
Prajita bill.
already handed over these challan to this case diary before Honorable Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court. But it has been already stated by a senior counsel, standing counsel, Mr. Kapil Siba. It has been already presented and produced before the Calcutta High Court, Honorable Chief Justice, Division Bench. Now it has been transferred to CBI, and what CBI has done, they know very well. The records recorded by judicial magistrate in the presence of all witnesses, and also parents were there. And what it is agitating.
Shabnam Day, let me inform you that it's very much on record. During the hearing today, it was highlighted that the CBI received no such document, which is why Mr. Sibal also did not have that document. Do you not think that that in itself is a blunder, that Mr. Sibal was not carrying that document?
No blunder at all.
Why didn't Mr.
There
Sibal
is a
have,
tape of
then tell me
procedure
why
of
didn't
criminal
Mr. Sibal have that
investigation.
challan? Why did Mr. Sibal have the challan?
Record.
Why
CBI
didn't,
track record
in fact, the
is
CGI has
very
said
poor.
that how can the document not be present? Why is it missing? This is the very question that was raised by the Honorable Chief Justice
When
of
it
India
is handed
himself.
over to
Are you
CBI,
saying that
what
the
CBI has done, we never
Mr.
come to know.
Sibal was
Kolkata
supposed to
police
carry that
already
document?
produced.
Why are you even mentioning the CBI over here?
We
And
cannot
the question was that
get the
now
documents
it
and
can be
produce now
tempered
because
later
we
on.
handed over all the documents to CBI.
Shabnam,
Now, what
I
CBI has done,
think you ought
what
to,
CBI has done,
even lying
they
is
know
an art,
better.
use some logic.
They better
Mr.
than-
Gopal Agarwal, please go ahead.
They know better. They know the
Akanksha
better
ji, we
reason
have to
why they
understand
have
that
misplaced the
this is
documents.
what the TMC
Kapil
and Mamta
Sibal said
Banerjee
that I
is
do
doing.
not have the document. I'm sorry, I will try to present
would
it.
have
How
been-
will he try to present it now?
Akanksha ji,
Because
if it had been
when
a
it is produced
crime
before
alone,
Honorable Justice Calcutta High
this
Court
kind
Division
of
Bench,
coverage
it
and
has
the
been
You know,
lavish-
handed
Sabnam, I
to
want to hear
CBI.
what Gopal Agarwal is saying, because the argument that you're giving me is absolutely falling flat and I need to utilize the remaining minutes. Gopal Agarwal, please.
Akanksha ji, we have to understand that it is not only the crime that has taken place, it is the cover-up like this, what Sabnam ji is doing, or at the court, what
No
the document was
cover-up,
missing.
no cover-up.
Even the Mamta Banerjee is trying to now divert by conspiracy that it's a BJP. So the whole
You are
thing,
conspiring.
the
BJP and
the
CPM in both parties
TMC
are conspiring.
government
That we can
complacency
understand,
into the
Bengal
crime
people.
is an important issue now. The complacency of the chief minister, the police, the RJKR principal, all together is there in this clear-cut visible that the crime has a big intentions behind. why this has taken, who was covering it. Now the coverage is very clear. Evidence was tampered with. The FIR was delayed. The documents properly for the postmortem have not been filed at the right time. Whether we don't even know that document accompanied the postmortem report or not. Was it filed without, if it had been filed, it should have been part of this document. So the question, even the council had also said that the missing document shows that it can now be again tempered. So after evidence, even in the
When
court
CBI
said that
has
the
been handed
toilets,
over
etc.,
the
where
records,
the accused
now what
would have
CBI is
washed his
doing?
clothes, etc., those
Why
whole tiles were changed. Whole
the
tiles of the
failure of
bathroom were
CBI
changed.
is
So
exposed?
this is
The failure of CBI in
the people were
investigating,
allowed by the
it
police.
is
7,000 people
exposed that
were
the track
allowed by
record
the
of the
police to
CBI.
storm after the crime. So to destroy the evidence, to tamper with the
No
evidence.
destroying of evidence or tampering evidence.
Where is the
DNA is
question
there.
of
It can be proved by
you are
DNA
not
also
answering us,
testing.
Sabnam ji.
It
You are
is
not
a
answering a
DNA
single
test.
question.
It can
What you will
be
answer,
also
even Sibal,
tested.
Kapil Sibal
I am
was not
answering
able to
to the
answer several
point
questions.
that when
I
handed
will
over
file
to CBI,
tomorrow. Even
CBI
the
knows
time
very
of
well.
FIR.
That is the record.
FIR, the time of FIR is a lie. The FIR time is at 11:30 p.m. The people are and the court, they are misleading them. The CJ said that you want to
Within
try to
1
mislead
day,
us on the
within 1
timing
day,
of the FIR.
the
You registered
accused
an
has been
unnatural death.
arrested. What
You
CBI is
registered an
doing? What
unnatural death.
CBI is bringing justice?
What is the
What CBI
shame?
is
It is
doing?
a shame
CBI
that being a
is
women,
showing
you are
shame to
talking like
CBI.
this.
Sabnam Day, I
Shame
bring
to
you in. No, the
CBI.
questions, you know why the TMC is on a very sticky wicket despite that Aprajita bill, aspects of which I thoroughly respect and appreciate, and perhaps the centre needs to do more to maybe encourage the assent of that bill by the president. But having said that, why the TMC is currently in a tight spot, we all know all those reasons. But last week, what we saw, those statements coming in from the parents, that in terms of how they were forced by the Kolkata police to record false statements, the fact that they were asked to sign on blank papers, expecting signatures from educated, literate parents after their daughters been brutally raped and murdered. This is not travesty of justice, let me tell you. This is not just travesty of justice. This is when it is the protectors who are becoming the perpetrators themselves.
Akanksha, not at all, because parents, what
So
they
you're
are
saying
stating
that the parents
now,
are
they can
lying.
understand.
You're saying that the parents are
Parents
lying.
can file a case. They can come up with application affidavit.
You really think that they're going to file a case on this when they are still awaiting justice for their daughter?
They can bring up the application analogously by filing affidavit before Honorable Supreme Court. Larger bench is constituted for this and they can be heard of. But our CM by 1 day arrested the accused by Kolkata police, seat created but handed over to CBI by the High Court, Calcutta High Court's direction. And what CBI's track record, you see, investigation need.
All right, Dr. Maheshwari, I see you want to make a point.
Yes, Akansha, what we see now here today is I think the entire nation has seen two faces of West Bengal government. One where you're trying to tamper with the evidence, where you don't see the genuinity of actions to actually bring the perpetrators to book. Secondly, you're trying to cover that up by doing dharnas, by writing to the Prime Minister, or by bringing this bill, just trying to cover up what you've done. So the actions, they speak louder than words. Had they put in the right actions together from the first day, I think they wouldn't have needed to do all this to show their cover up, to show their intentions that no, they are, with the woman and they're trying to safeguard them.
No, and I'll tell you one more thing, Dr. Maheshwari. Today, the joint platform of doctors in West Bengal has in fact released a statement urging Abhishek Banerjee to not spread misinformation, because apparently Abhishek Banerjee took to X and he's also posted about a false information in terms of how there are patients dying because they were left unattended.
Yes, patients are dying.
Yes, that's true. I know.
Patients are dying,
but that doesn't mean that you, in fact, go spread misinformation.
Little boy has died without treatment. Why the people at large will be suffering like this without treatment? Doctors are not treating at all. And
that is something, Sabnam ji, even the Supreme Court has taken into account and has urged doctors to return. But you cannot resort to misinformation.
No
Shameless
misinformation.
behavior
That's
of the
lying. That's
it's
lying
a
by junior
shameless behavior
doctors.
of Mamta government. It's a shameless behavior of the Mamta government that a serious crime against which the culprit or the
Shameless to Modi
accused should have
government.
been acted
Shameless
upon.
to
They are
Modi.
trying to
Shameless
protect
to
and
Modi.
mislead the people.
Modi should
If
resign.
this protest, etc.,
Modi
had
should
not taken
resign.
place, you
But
would
you know,
have been
Doctor
successful in
What
Dr.
your
about
Maheshwari,
cover up
Yoginath?
of the
When
crime.
a lawyer has been raped and brutally
we are
murdered
standing
in
at
UP,
Dr. Maheshwari. I
lawyer
want
has
to
been
quickly
raped
bring
and
you
brutally
in. It's
murdered.
been 1 month. We are talking about a bill that's already been passed, awaits the presidential assent as well. But what has been done for the doctors on the ground level? The need for a central law that, of course, remains very much to be addressed. I'd like your thoughts before I quickly take in closing thoughts from the others.
Absolutely, and that is what our main concern is. Today, the Supreme Court has directed the doctors to end their protest, and obviously they'll follow the command that has been given by the Supreme Authority. But there is a deeper concern among doctors as to would there be sustained efforts to bring in security for the staff that is there? Would there be societal changes? Would there be systemic changes, so that, the doctors, as they move forward, as they go back to their duty and follow the work, would they be safe? Would there be any wrath to them since they had gone on a protest for a 1 month? What kind of aftermath would have for them? That is also a question mark, because you can see what kind of comments are coming in politically, against the doctors also, which is very, very concerning. We are not very sure right now, when these doctors go back to work, what kind of treatment would be meted to them as well. Would there be some kind of underlying, conspiracy against
Fair
them
enough.
also? So that is something which is very, very concerning, I think, right now for the doctors.
Gopal Agarwal, amid this blame game, what can the government at the center do now? Please tell me, why can't the Home Ministry initiate a disciplinary action against the Kolkata Police Commissioner? Why can't you do something about perhaps working towards an assent to that Abhaya, to the Aprajita bill, which was passed by the West Bengal Assembly? But a lot of the commitments which should perhaps also be coming in from the center are getting lost in this political blame game.
Akanksha ji, we have to understand that when the system or administration which is responsible for protecting and punishing the abuser or the culprit itself becomes complacent and becomes partner in the crime, then it is very difficult, because we have a federal structure in which law and order is a state subject. And the intervention from the center is a way which we are doing, whatever the Home Ministry is doing. But the thing is that
Where is the
CBI...
central law for
No, but the
doctors and
complacency...
paramedicals?
No, don't blame the center on this. It is the state government's responsibility.
Where is the central law for
Partners
doctors
who are the
and
partner
which
in the
they
crime.
raised since
All right, it's very
2019.
unfortunate that the Durga
Puja
Puja is going to be coming around it's very much round the corner, and perhaps even Durga must be saying that justice delayed is justice denied, and Abhaya and her parents await for justice. I think it's a time of introspection for all of us in terms of where the society has come today. Many thanks to you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining in on Plain Speak. And with that, it's time for a quick break. But after the break, we'll also be probing Rahul Gandhi, as he's in the United States, slammed the BJP and the RSS during his trip. He's hailed China's employment rate as against India's. His remark has, of course, stirred the hornet's nest yet again, as the leader of opposition insulted India abroad. That's a question we'll be debating in just a bit.
Saying that in stark contrast, China does not have this kind of an unemployment issue, even though India has better skill facilities. Well, of course, it's going to stoke, and I think it's already begun to, as far as comments on China is concerned. And not just this, I mean, in the past also, when he said that China is stronger than us economically in terms of military, caliber, and also the fact that he met up with the Chinese ambassador at the time of the Galwan controversy was taking place. The BJP has begun to attack Rahul Gandhi and accused him of actually being the one who's compromising on the idea of India, on national unity and integrity, and making comments, especially when you're abroad. When you run down your own country, and I'm using the words of the BJP, according to BJP, when you run down your own country and govern on a foreign soil, you are, one, painting a very incorrect and wrong picture about your country. And second, you only end up emboldening our enemies across the border.
RP Singh ji joining us on the broadcast. Mr. RP Singh, thank you so much for speaking to us. What would be your thought about this particular statement coming in from the leader of the opposition with regards to the unemployment challenge faced by China and then by India? He said that China certainly is not facing any such problem with that heavy population, but India is still facing it.
Well, that clearly shows that the document which he signed with the China Communist Party of China, he still goes by that line of the line of the China, where he always praises China and demeans India. But the fact is that he doesn't know that today women are being employed under Lakpati scheme of the Prime Minister, where drone Didi are being made in every village, and then technology is being used by the Prime Minister Modi's scheme, where women are being employed. But that point aside, the biggest issue which he has raised, which we are missing on, is that he is saying that India is not a nation. He still, Mr. Even Sam Praduda, they are talking about that India is Union of States, as if India was has been created after 1947. The fact is, India has been a nation thousands of years, 5,000, 10,000 years. But they keep reiterating that India is Union of States. And they are not aware that the Pandals from Kerala go to Badrinath, or Pandals from Karnataka goes to Kedarnath, or Pandals from Chennai, Tamil Nadu goes to Kashi Vishwanath. Maharaja Ranjit Singh, he offered gold to Harimandir in Amritsar and also to Kashi Vishwanath. So India has been one nation throughout, but they don't accept that India has been a nation. India has been culturally one nation, and that we believe in. That the ideology of BJP is that India has been a culturally one nation. And the language which Mr. Rahul Gandhi speaks, or his fellows speak, that India is Union of States, the same language is being used by Khalistani Amritpal Singh. He also said that India is Union of States, so we as a state has a separate right to identify and decide our future course of action. So that's the problem, that they don't want India to be seen as one cultural nation.
Right, Mr. Singh. Thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 8. Well, Rahul has stoked a fresh row during his visit to the US, Dallas specifically. In a big attack at the RSS, Rahul Gandhi claimed that the RSS and BJP have hijacked the education system of India on ideological basis, and that most of the vice-chancellors indeed have a background of the RSS. He praises China, says that it is dominating the global production and has no unemployment issue in their country. He has also taken a jibe at the Devta comment. He said that Devta in India actually means a person whose internal feelings are exactly the same as his external expression, meaning he is a completely transparent being. It does not mean God. Listen in to what the leader of opposition actually said.